through on that. That's hello. Hello. Sorry, I was laughing because I saw someone say to make a challenge for Russell to put his hands down, and we were like, that's absolutely impossible. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing? What day is it? God, I don't even know. God, it's Tuesday. How is everyone's Tuesday going? So nice to see everyone. I see Jaden. I see the wrenches in here. I love that someone just. Are you calling me mother? Yes. God, I am more of a mother than I feel like I've ever been, to be quite honest. The newborn has brought me to a whole new level of being a mother. Let me just tell you. How's everyone doing? What's been going on? Who was watching H3 the other day about Russell Brand? What are the thoughts? Impossible difficulty. Russell Brand literally sleeps like this. I swear to God. When he goes to bed at night, he's still just like, and maybe his eye, he's like one of those guys that sleeps with their eyes open. I dated somebody who slept with their eyes open. And let me just tell you, hi, Mariah. Welcome. Thank you so much. It was scary. Okay. It was the scariest. I would like wake up in the middle of the night, you know, when you want to see if someone's awake, and his eyes would just be in a constant state of awake. It was the scariest thing ever. I feel like Russell Brand's definitely one of those bros. just sleeping in dreamland. Hey, Mom. Oh, yeah, I want to say thank you all so much. We got to 20K yesterday, and that was really exciting and wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much. It's so wonderful to see the community growing. It makes me so happy. So thank you guys so much. Hey, Peyton. Oh, I would love to do another cameo. Consider it done. Oh my God, Annecy, stay free. That's why I put on his t-shirt. Actually, Miko came up with it. First, I was going to say stay false. And then Miko was like, how about stay away? And I was like, that's probably a little bit more accurate for Russell Brand. I feel like Russell Brand needs a shirt that says that. Hi, Chloe. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. But wait, what was I saying? I like totally blanked on what the fuck I was even talking about. Am I still talking about Russell Brand? Yeah, I'm probably still talking about Russell Brand. I can't believe he claimed Ethan's H3's video. It's strange to me because isn't he demonetized? Like, how is he? Isn't the whole point of that to make sure that other YouTube creators like get paid off of other YouTube creators using their creations? Basically, if Russell Brand's not getting any money anymore, then what's the point of it? These emojis. The emojis are so good. Mother of 20K. You know what? I need a t-shirt that says that. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's just so absurd to me. Like, what kind of message is he watching H3? By the way, if Russell Brand's secretly up in H3's show, that would be incredible. I'm sure the only reason he honestly would be there is because they were talking about him, and I feel like he's that kind of person that if he's being mentioned anywhere, he's just there also. He's just definitely there. Someone is pretending to be me on Reddit. Someone's pretending to be me on. Wait, no, I think it's me, you guys. You have to tell me what the account is because I'm on Reddit. I have like that. It looks like a Neopet. Do you guys remember Neopets? I used to love Neopets when I was a kid. And the character that I have on Reddit really reminds me of a little Neopet. Show me the account. I'll confirm or deny if it's actually me. What did it say? Right? iPhone 6, what? He claimed the clips they showed. Yeah, why was he claiming the clips? And what interesting, I feel like, didn't Ethan say that he claimed one of the clips where Russell Brand legit talks about showing himself to like an employee or something there? Like, you want to claim that, bro? Like, aren't you saying that you're innocent and whatnot? And then there you are claiming the things that basically you saying that you did something extremely wrong, like a crime. You still play Neopets, Annecy? Dude, Neopets were the shits. I loved Neopets. Absolutely love them. But yeah, let me know which Reddit account is pretending to be me, and I will let you know if it's actually me or not. I'm pretty sure it's me, you guys, though. Because I've been commenting in the Reddit. I'm trying to keep track of everybody. There's so many good things in the Reddit that I'm like at night looking at it and commenting. So I'm pretty sure that's actually me. Webkins. I've actually never played Webkins before. Is that self-reporting? I play Webkins every day. Annecy, you're amazing. You're so amazing. I've never played it. Is it actually fun, you guys? What is it? Is it like Neopets? Like, are there little animals? Because that's the only thing that sucked me in, honestly, with Neopets, is I was a sucker for all those cute little, like, alien pets. They weren't like, they like look like cats sometimes, but they were like alien versions of cats, and I was just absolutely down with that. Yeah, my Reddit name is Agile Tough. And I don't know what the numbers are because Reddit just created it for me. So it's like 765 or something. But I'm Agile Tough. That's what was generated for me. So if you see that in there, it is absolutely me. I love everyone getting so deep in this Webkins right now. Webkins is crack. Hey, Jaden. How are you, Jaden? So, yeah, I mean, okay. So Russell Brand, though, I do want to talk about, I actually am getting tired of Russell Brand. Personally, I was already tired of Russell Brand during COVID, to be quite honest with you. That's when I saw shit hit the fan, in my opinion. It just got, like, he was okay. I mean, I didn't have like a strong aversion to him before COVID, but then once I started seeing him show up on my Instagram feed during COVID, I just really started to personally dislike the guy. He was just like annoying as fuck. And he's an obvious narcissist. He says things as if they're facts. He is uncovering it all, you know, and someone like that to me is a bunch of red flags. And then, you know, the anti-vax thing, like, just, it was all just too much too soon. And I think everybody was already going through so much during COVID that bringing Russell Brand into your life was the dose you did not need. I wanted the vax more than I wanted to see Russell Brand on my Instagram feed, if you know what I mean. He was just honestly too much. But what's interesting about Russell Brand is he's leaning towards the right more and more each day, but also, I mean, he's just straight up the right at this point, but he's all about this freedom of speech. Freedom of speech, like they're trying to take her freedom of speech. And then here he is claiming, you know, H3's video when he can't even make money on the platform he's claiming. Like, what the fuck are you even doing? Where do you stand, Russell? Like, where exactly does this guy stand? And there's an R kit, you guys, right? Like, am I wrong about that? I mean, the whole thing is just, welcome, Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Yeah, he's super culty, and he kind of like is like a shitty actor cult leader, like that you would see on like Lifetime movies. You know what I mean? We were like, oh my God, this guy like is such a casting version of what a cult leader is. Like, Russell Brand looks like an actor. He looks like someone pretending to be a cult leader. He doesn't even look like an actual cult leader, in my opinion. He's not even pulling it off that well. It's just too obvious. It's like bad acting. Yeah, nurses definitely need to do reputation control. That's what they do. And it's like he's fine with talking about Bill Gates, you know, however he wants to talk about him. He doesn't mind talking about everyone in the ways in which he wants to talk about them. But then when somebody talks about him in not a positive light, it seems to bother Russell Brand. It really, really seems to bother him, which is just so interesting because I feel like his entire page is coming up with negative things about people, companies, etc. So I thought he would be maybe somebody who would understand the usage of that and why that's, you know, important per se, but not when it's about Russell Brand. I want to make like a Pfizer Russell Brand like logo, but it like in the font of Pfizer, but we can just put Russell Brand's name. I want that to be created in the Reddit. If Miko's listening, which he probably is not right now, I would love for us to create that. That would just be so fucking funny. Russell Brand, I think, just made a video about free speech. Yeah, he went live the other day. He like legit went live the other day, started talking about the pandemic again, which I'm like, I don't even want to hear about the pandemic anymore. I think we're all kind of, you know, still recovering from that whole thing. But it seems like that's all he has left in the sense of his viewership. Like, you know, my friend Adam was saying today, like he's really like trying to grasp onto whatever he still has left, which is honestly Not that much. It's just anti-vaxxers, like a bunch of people that are in Topanga that consider themselves hippies. But, you know, I call them rich hippies, whatever. But that's really his fan base, in my opinion. And it seems like he's still trying to grasp onto those individuals and pull them over to Rumble. Rumble is the worst name for like a streaming site. Like, what is it even? Rumble what? Like, what's about to rumble? I don't even know. What does rumble mean? Can someone pull up the definition in the chat? What exactly? Like, I have my own version of what rumble means, but I need someone to actually show me what rumble means. What the fuck does that even mean? I'm not saying like YouTube's the best, but YouTube makes sense. It's like it's YouTube, and like I get like, you know, in England TV is called Tube, so I get it. At least makes sense. Rumble, I'm like, what's exactly rumbling? Just a bunch of canceled people that got kicked off of YouTube and have to rumble their way over to Rumble. That's rumble his feathers. Yeah, no, Russell Brand's feathers are definitely rumbled right now. 100% rumbled. Let's get ready to rumble. It's so sad though. It's like not even enthusiastic. It's just a bunch of like canceled people, I guess, who just can't be on YouTube. And they rumble over to Rumble. Celebrity deathmatch? Miko, that's insane. It's like what is it, WWE or whatever? It sounds like something like that. Like guys are like fighting on there or something, like throwing punches. It's just like celebrities throwing punches. Yeah, plus they fake their views. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that Rumble is like Rumble bots. They got Rumble bots up in there. They got bots rumbling. What does it mean? The fuck does it mean? So wait, I do want to go into a few things since we do not have any sponsors for today's live episode. I just wanted to remind everybody that where am I? Am I here? There we go. We have our ePredators lovely merch. I saw some people posting on Twitter them receiving their t-shirt. And Annecy, I saw you wearing the ePredators t-shirt. You looked amazing. I loved all of those stickers that you posted on your story. You got out of hand, but it was like out of hand in the best possible way, honestly. So I love seeing you guys getting your t-shirts. I love seeing people getting their totes. I love seeing people getting their stickers. It's just such a nice way to, I don't know, spread the word. You know, I like the totes a lot because if you go to the grocery store, you know, it might pick up some conversation where someone's like, eat predators. Like, what does that mean? And hopefully you can spread some type of advocacy through the messaging. And that's personally what I like about the t-shirts and the tote bags. And Alleged Dad is just, I can't not have Alleged Dad's going to be on there for years. I'm never getting rid of the Alleged Dad shirts. There's too many Alleged Dads. We can't get rid of it. I feel like dads are actually afraid to purchase Alleged Dad. They're like, does that make me not a dad? It's okay, man. If you're a dad watching this, I think you can wear Alleged Dad without being accused of not being a dad, if you know what I mean. I think you'll be fine. Shout out to all the Alleged Dads. Yeah, Miko, are you an Alleged Dad? I feel like Nova, when she starts talking, that's going to be like one of her first things that she says to her dad. Daddy, are you an Alleged Dad? Miko, using their families to avoid accountability. It's the worst. I can't stand the actual Alleged Dads out there. But yeah, so we still have that. If you want to get it for a friend, or if you're an ally or a survivor, and you want to support also the work that we're doing here at ePredators, this is just a great way of doing that, because obviously a lot of time, energy goes into this that I love doing, but to make it sustainable, obviously it needs to be sustainable. So if you want to support in this way and rock one of the shirts or wear one of the tote bags, we deeply, deeply appreciate it. And moving on to Patreon, because we have the protest happening on Thursday. And you guys, I'm on very little sleep today, so excuse me if I'm rumbling. Excuse me if I'm rumbling too much, but it's because we've been making protest signs until like 2 a.m. while the kids are asleep, because that's the only time that we can actually create these signs. So I'm on very little sleep, and I'm also a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. Like the first time I protested Brian Friedman, it was so scary because I was going up against a law firm, you know, and like back in 2022 for me. Wait, was it 2022? Yeah, whatever year it was. Whatever fucking year it was. That was scary going up against a law firm. Like I thought law firms were real. I'm kidding. Or I just thought they were a lot scarier than they actually seemed to be quite honest with you. But I was so nervous to protest Brian Freeman's law firm. And then I still am nervous each time, especially getting onto the megaphone each time, but it got a little bit more comfortable. And because I was doing it every Thursday consistently every single week, I got the nerves out of me after a while. But I haven't protested in a while. I haven't protested since Rye. His show, and that was when I was still pregnant, and so this is the first time in a while, and also it's fucking Scientology, you guys. Okay, it's Scientology, and I'm a little nervous. Not because I'm actually like scared physically or anything. It's just it's the building alone is scary. The color is blinding. And, you know, I don't know what passerbys are going to be watching. Just the whole thing I get nervous about it, but I'm looking forward to doing it. I feel like it's the right thing. And I'm honestly exhausted by David Miscavige. I'm exhausted by how many years survivors of Scientology have been speaking out. And Scientology has continued in plain sight, in my opinion, to do things that are allegedly criminal. And I just feel like time's up on this, and we really need to take it seriously, especially since they have all these privileges where, because they're a religion, they're able to get away with so much. And that to me is very, very jarring. And I just think it's time for us to put an end to whatever operation they got going on there. I don't know if anyone watched the live with Aaron the other day. Was anyone there? It was such a nice conversation. It was really nice talking with Aaron. I got educated too, because as you guys know, like I wasn't in Scientology. I don't know every single detail about Scientology. I am a survivor showing up for other survivors in this situation. Like the music industry, I know it kind of through and through because I'm a survivor of it. But Scientology is something that's not something I know, you know, too well. I'm getting the gist of it, and let me tell you, what I've been learning is extremely scary. But I don't know everything, and so it was really nice talking to Aaron and having him explain a lot of it to me, and just having an open conversation about how cults can be an example of a predator. Becca, hey, Becca. Wait, Becca, can you also put the link in the chat? Was it Becca who made it? Who made the ePredators menu? Because I do want that. Yeah, can you get that? Whoever made that menu on the Reddit was incredible. So yeah, what a great video with Aaron. Oh, you saw it, Mariah. It was so, I really, really enjoyed speaking with him. Like really, really did. And so I'm glad that some of you got to watch that. And if you didn't, you can watch it. It's still obviously on his channel. Check it out and support Aaron. What he's doing with his nonprofit, Aftermath, is awesome. He's helping people who are trying to get out of Scientology, to get out of there in a way that isn't as, I guess, traumatic as it has been for so many individuals coming out of Scientology. So we support Aaron on this channel and thank him very much for giving ePredators a boost and having the conversation with me. So moving on, what do we have here? Wait, what do we got going on? I think to go into what I really want to talk about is these innocent until proven guilty bots, bros, bots, trolls. I never know which one's a bot anymore and which one's a bro or which one's a troll at this point. Like they all say the same thing. It's like, are you a bro? Are you a bot? Are you a troll? Because they're all kind of sounding the same. And I honestly cannot tell which one is which at this point. But there are so many of these bot bro trolls, let's just call them, that say innocent until proven guilty. And sure, we can have many open debates, right, about that principle. And I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And I don't think it's necessarily an ultra good thing. I think there's nuances to the innocent until proven guilty. To be quite on, ooh, I'm changing colors here. It's like strobing. Did you guys see that? I got purple and then I got orange. That was kind of fun, Matt. I enjoyed that. But so innocent until proven guilty. As a principle, totally get it. They love to like say that as if no one gets what that principle is. And it's like, we got it, we understand it. And no one's even necessarily like saying that's a bad thing whatsoever. The problem that I have with it, though, is when it's used towards individuals that usually, for the most part, have the entire fucking system against them. The entire system. You don't even get to guilty for so many individuals on this earth, okay? Unless you're like, a white dude, all right? Anyone else, the justice system is a hellhole. And you never even get to that point. So whenever I see innocent until proven guilty, Shay! Hi, Shay! Oh my God. Sorry, it's not much. That's all I have. No, Shay, you didn't even have to do. Thank you so much, Shay. Oh my God, I miss Shay. Having two kids and doing this, I haven't even been able to connect with certain people, and seeing Shay there just like was the best thing ever. Shay, you are the best. You are beyond an inspiration. You are beyond a hero. Like, you're so cool, Shay. Thank you so much. You did not have to do that. But yeah, like innocent until proven guilty is usually told towards the people that literally never get to that point. And I'm tired of it. It's like, obviously you're a privileged fucking person if you're saying that, because you actually don't understand how the justice system works, bro. Because you've never even had to go through it, A, probably. And B, you're not somebody who's like oppressed in some type of way. And it's like, we got it. No one's trying to even argue necessarily the innocent until proven guilty. It's just an annoying thing to say to somebody, or, a group of people that never even get to that point. They don't get to that point. The whole system is stacked against them. And if they're so passionate about the justice system, like they like to pretend they are on Twitter, then why don't you stand in the streets with Eat Predators and lift those statute of limitations indefinitely so we can properly investigate these cases, right? If your idol is so innocent, then let's make sure that these get properly investigated, and let's see how innocent he is or she is or they are, whoever, right? Like, I'm over it. These are the same people that would never stand in the streets, for example, and try and get these statute of limitations opened for civil and for criminal. They just tweet online. They're bot troll. What is it? Bot troll bros. I mean, that's really all these individuals are. They don't do anything. I don't see them doing anything. I just see them on Twitter. I just see them on fucking Twitter and basically almost rubbing it in. It feels like a rub in, that it's triggering because so many of us don't get to that point because of how all the cards are stacked up against us. We got statute of limitations. We got really extremely intense power dynamics at play. There's so many different things that get us blocked when it comes to our road towards justice. And so to see individuals just tweeting away innocent until proven guilty as if it's some type of, hashtag, instead of something that is very triggering for a lot of people, it's just sad. It really upsets me. And so I tweeted something. I want to read actually and just remind myself what I tweeted. Basically, I tweeted, innocent until proven guilty. So does that mean you want to get rid of arrests before conviction? Genuinely curious. What about believing that someone likely committed a crime and therefore detaining so they can determine whether to proceed with an investigation and file charges? And that's another thing. I was thinking about it and I was like, wait, though, don't you get arrested before you get convicted? Isn't there other stages to conviction to guilty? Yes, there is. Actually, the police have to feel and believe that it's more likely that they committed the crime enough to actually arrest them and detain them. And the purpose of detaining them is so that they don't keep committing the crimes. So you're holding them back. You're taking away that privilege. Sure, it's part of our criminal system, right? That they love to talk about so much. But they detain them. They arrest them. And if you want to compare it to anything, then I would compare it to what they think cancel culture is, right? Which I think cancel culture doesn't even exist, in my opinion. But if we're going to compare the two, cancel culture would be a form of detainment. But instead of you actually getting fucking detained, like you're not even in jail, which is so funny that these bros like love complaining about cancel culture while they sit in their homes and they go out and get coffee and, you know, yada, yada, yada. And they're upset because what, they weren't able to work for a few months. I mean, most of them, it's like 3 months and they're back at the same shit, right? Or am I wrong about this? Sorry, I know the chat's saying so much and I'm trying to like keep up with it as well. Victims talking to other survivors is not a conspiracy. Jerry, it is not. Victims talking to other victims is not a conspiracy. And if these predators would like to use that type of ridiculous concept, then them hanging out with other predators would then just guarantee that that person's a predator, right? And that's not always the case. So it's like such a ridiculous thing to think that victims talking to other victims is some type of what? What do you think they're doing over there? Other than probably sharing their trauma, crying, and finding some type of support with one another. It's a support system. I saw that, what Jerry said, and it's so true because these guys also love to say that there's conspiracies against them, they're cooperating or whatever the word is, and they're trying to take this innocent, nice man down. But with cancel culture, it's like, dude, do you even know how the justice system works? Like, if usually you're like detained, you're arrested, it's on your record, by the way. It's on your record. And then an employer, for example, if they see that on your record, even if you weren't convicted, right? Even if you weren't convicted or charged. Oh, there's charged and then convicted, right? So even if you weren't charged or convicted, you got the arrest on your record, and then an employer can actually say that they don't want to hire you. So what's the difference? So if they're so keen on the justice system, then why are they okay with it when it's the justice system and when it's cancel culture, if you know what I mean? Am I making sense with that? You get what I'm saying? It's like that would be the only comparison that I can think of with cancel culture. And it's not even that bad. It's like, it's not even real accountability in my point of view, because it never gets them to apologize. Even taking away, you know, some of their privileges, like their sponsorships or being monetized on YouTube, for example, even taking those things away, these fuckers never apologize. They don't apologize. It's like, and they don't apologize when they're detained either. They don't apologize when they're detained. They don't apologize when they're arrested. They don't apologize when they're convicted. No apologies ever. So what to do, right? What to do? And so how a survivor chooses to come forward is their fucking prerogative. It's their prerogative because you don't know what's happening in their life that's also making it basically guide them in that decision making. You don't know. It could be statute of limitations. It could be that they weren't ready at that time. It could be they needed therapy first to actually understand what happened to them. It could be a whole bunch of different reasons. Anyone judging a survivor, obviously, in my opinion, most likely is not a survivor. So if you're not a survivor, I would just kind of step back and maybe not say anything if it's not support of the survivor, because you really don't understand how many cards are stacked up against survivors. So this innocent until proven guilty is fucking annoying. If anything, it's just annoying. It's like no one's even trying to, that's not even part of the discourse. Like no one's even trying to talk about that. That's not the point, and you're missing the point. If the person's wanting to come forward publicly in a public way, that's their prerogative. And to be honest with you, as I look back I tried all the different things, right? So I made an open letter because I thought that was my only option, because I thought my statute of limitations were up. So all I had in my mind was the open letter. And my intention of that open letter not only was it healing for me to write those things down, but it was also a way to warn other individuals to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. Like, it ends with me, right? That was the intention with the open letter. It ends with me. It ends with me. And it was my only option. I did not go to the police when I was 16 years old for many different reasons. And you know what? To be quite honest with you, one of the reasons, you don't even know what the fuck. During that era, I didn't even know what brooming was, for example. I didn't. And I also thought like ABUSERs were like scary looking guys, like not musicians, not people that I liked their music or somebody that was super kind to me. I didn't know that. Like, I legit didn't know that. So there are so many different reasons why someone doesn't make a police report. I didn't tell my mom because what I did know was that he didn't want me to tell my mom, you know? And so there's all the manipulation at play as well. It's annoying. Sorry, I'm pissed off. Can you tell I'm pissed off today? I'm tired and I'm pissed because I'm just so over it. You don't understand. If you're saying that, I'm telling you right now, you don't get it. And you're missing the fucking point. And regardless of the innocent until proven guilty, still one of the stages towards justice is somebody believing that they most likely committed the crime enough to detain them and hold them accountable. And if all of the statute of limitations are against you, et cetera, sometimes the only means of getting that, I don't know, taste of justice is whatever the fuck the survivor wants to do in that moment. Okay? I don't see any harm in it. What harm is in it? What harm when a survivor's warning a whole bunch of people that this person is dangerous? I want to know, what's the harm in that? Seems a little like one-sided. Like what's the harm? Oh, drink your kombucha. I know, I need my booch. I'm not even drinking booch right now. Probably why I'm upset. But it's just so sad. Like, I saw that even on Ethan's Twitter. I just saw a bunch of people saying that. And, you know, I don't want people to lose sight of the fact that we can make our own opinions about things. And we have the right to do that. Just like that person, I guess, has the right to, you know, tweet innocent until proven guilty. We have the right to have our own opinion. We can look at something and make our own. We can have our own personal discernment around that topic, and we're allowed to have that. And to remind you, it's actually part of the criminal system. That's part of it. Is first believing and then looking at the evidence, and then goes charging and conviction. So there's multiple stages to this, and we can't lose sight of the stage of believing that someone did something. I just don't want community to get bullied out of believing that someone has caused harm against someone. And I think it's important that we do so. And so let me just continue this because then I'll just get it out of my system. I said, just saying, because that is legit part of our justice system. These individuals seem to forget that believing someone likely did something is also part of it. How about you use that same energy and put it towards lifting statute of limitations indefinitely and demand that reports get properly investigated and don't sit on DA desks until they turn to dust, since you are so passionate about the justice system. And out of every 1,000 instances of R, only 13 cases get referred to a prosecutor. And only 7 cases will lead to felony conviction. This should rumble. This should rumble your feathers more than your idol getting accused. That's how I feel about the topic, okay? I let it out. I got it out of my system. That's how I feel. If you're not more upset about the last part that I just said, if you're more upset about your idol being accused and not what I just read there, bye-bye. Like, just go away. Honestly, just go away. Nobody wants to hear you, honestly. You're just triggering and mean and cruel, and you don't have a heart, in my opinion. Because really that should be the most heartbreaking part of everything I just said, is that. That means so many survivors never get justice, man. They don't get to see their ABUSERs getting convicted in any type of way. Nowhere. So you saying that, there is no justice. There really isn't. I just showed the statistics there. There really very few people get justice. I mean, seeing Danny Masterson, that was like one of the things that I wanted to talk to community about was, sure, that was such a beautiful thing to see fellow survivors having a justice day. Like, that was so incredible to witness that. And at the same time, it was triggering and sad because, you know, someone like me also did not get that, right? And I know that that's what it was like for so many survivors out there. You felt so happy for these survivors, and at the same time, you might have felt triggered, just a little sad. Marissa, justice for survivors. Thank you so much, Marissa. Yeah, justice for survivors and power to survivors. I'm tired of this shit, you know? They don't realize the nuances of these things and how triggering a statement like innocent until proven guilty can be. And we must be mindful of how many survivors are watching our public discourse around these topics. You have to be very mindful of that, because you could be the reason why someone comes forward in their truth, and you can also be the reason why someone is silent with their truth. With survivors, you're never alone. Thank you so much, Gia. You know what I mean? Like, you have the power to make someone feel like they can come forward about their truth. And you also have the power to do the opposite. And what an incredible, interesting place to be in the world. And I'd rather choose to be mindful of how I am communicating my thoughts when I know that other people are thinking out there. Should I go to the police? What happens if I do? They're not going to care anyways. What you're doing is so important. Thank you so much, Emma. You know, they're thinking, if I go to the police, they're not even going to care anyways, because that's what happens time and time again. Russell Brand, that's what happens time and time again. But it's what happens time and time again. You see survivors go to the police and nothing fucking happens. Thank you so much, Simi. Justice for survivors. We see it time and time again. So what are we going to do as a community, as a society? I want to fucking make sure that I am encouraging someone to do what they feel is right for them. I don't want to push them to come forward, because that's wrong as well, okay? I don't want to silence them, because that's also wrong as well. You want to just encourage them to feel, not even just encourage them, you just want them to feel fucking supported. Why not? Why do we not want to make survivors feel supported? What is it going to take out of your day, man? On Twitter, what's wrong with you? Is it really going to take that much for you to just be supportive of someone coming forward about something that is so extremely traumatic and horrific, and where they see time and time again no one supports them or believes them? Is it really that hard for you to do? I'm just so curious. It seems to be so hard for them to do. And honestly, those individuals, it makes me suspicious of them, because why are you so defensive for someone that might be convicted of the R word? Why are you standing up for that person? Why the fuck are you not standing up for the person who allegedly got R'd? I would so rather stand up, just even if I wasn't a survivor, looking at the scenario, I'm gonna probably stand up for the person that was probably harmed in this scenario than the one being accused of something so criminal, cruel, and disgusting. So it says a lot more about you guys with your little tweets, in my opinion. You're just revealing your true self there on the internet. And alrighty then. But I just want to say I'm sorry for survivors. I know how many survivors see these tweets. It really upsets me. We don't deserve that. We don't deserve that type of treatment. We never did anything wrong to these fucking people. You know? We're just trying to speak our truth, get support, feel like we matter in some type of way, get some type of validation. You know? We don't want to feel like shit. We don't want to feel like shit. It already is shitty. Okay? It's already real shitty. And so just a little bit of love would be nice. Ellen, thank you so much. Have you seen JKR, other TERF standing up for Brand doing this bullshit innocent until proven guilty thing? No, can you put it to the Reddit? I would like to see that. It's so interesting. It's like, but it never even gets to that point. But I am actually, by the way, guys, okay, on a nice, we'll get into a little bit happier mode, because there is something fun to say after all of that. Sorry, guys, I had to I appreciate you guys so much because I get to just, you know, and I feel like I'm not alone in this. Like, it's nice to see that I'm maybe not alone in these feelings, because it's hard. It's really hard. Shay, aw, Shay. I'm there for you. I'm there for you 100%. I know. I know. And it's so different when you know, right? You can tell these people just don't know. They really don't know. And they don't want to know, which is that's even sadder, is that they don't want to know, right? And it just sucks. It just fucking sucks. I want my kids to live in a better environment than this. I just don't want my kids seeing that if they were to come forward about something that was so horrific that no one's going to, most people are not going to support them. Most people are going to call them a liar and basically shrug them off. I mean, what kind of society is this? This is getting disturbing. It's getting extremely disturbing. But happy little note here. Let me wait. I don't know if I can I pull this up without getting, okay. I'm pulling it up. Dun, 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 dun. Russell Brand police receive further allegations against comedian. Well, look what we have here. Oh, I don't know if I can show that, but basically there is an investigation now open in the UK, you guys. In the UK, an investigation has opened up. And I find that to be, I am happy for these survivors, that the police are actually taking note. But look at how much has to happen, right? For the police, I feel like. I see that time and time again. Like, it has to be a very public figure. And it has to be in the media. And then there has to be like a lot of public pressure to get these police to fucking do anything. I went to the police and the police ghosted me. The police legit ghosted me. I had a detective. I had to go in there and get re-traumatized for like 2.5 hours, bring in my evidence. I was bawling, crying in that room, pouring my heart out to this stranger, right? This random dude who I didn't even know, never met him before. People forget about that part. You have to go in there and get re-traumatized. And there's no trauma expert there. There's nobody there except this one dude who's just asking you a whole bunch of extremely triggering questions. And you're just pouring out all of your trauma onto them. And then you know what? They ghost you. That's at least what happened to me. And you know how many other survivors I'm sure that happened to? Many. This is a problem that we need to really start looking at, is how many survivors make police reports and nothing ends up coming of them. It's a problem. It's a serious problem. And I wish we had more allies, because we deserve more allies, because that's bullshit. When someone goes for a robbery, it's like, everything, like everything's fine. They like find the person, or they at least really try to find the person. People get like insurance money from it, like all of this. When a survivor comes forward, ghost. I tell you, they ghost you. They totally ghost you. Swoop had a trauma expert. That's amazing. Wait, Swoop had a trauma expert when they went to the police station or when doing interviews? I'm just curious about that. Yeah, the system is horribly broken. So I am curious to see what's going on with Russell Brand. And you know, the only sad part about the demonetization that I would like to touch on a little bit is that, yeah, it is sad that he's able to use that to his defense and come up with this whole conspiracy theory around that because of it. And I know that some people are upset about that aspect. And it's like, yeah, that is super upsetting because it plays right into his whole narrative, right? It plays into his whole narrative. So he's able to be like, they're coming for me. You know what I mean? And my money. And like head over to Rumble. And it's like, oh God. But you know what? All jokes aside there, I'm happy that the police are taking this seriously. Because from what I read, it was horrific, the Russell Brand allegations. Like absolutely horrific. So, oh, who is this? The Shield Maiden. Today, I realized I was essayed by an older man at 17. Still processing it and not sure how to yet, but I'm glad to be here through it. The Shield Maiden. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, for me, it took me a long time. I don't think it even fully hit me. It didn't fully hit me until I was like past like my mid-20s. Like I had flashbacks. I had body memory. I had memories. But for me to process, to put the words to the harm took me a minute. And also I had to learn the words to describe what had happened to me, which a lot of people also don't even understand, is that we're not necessarily all educated. I mean, after the Me Too movement, sure, there was a lot more education around these things. And honestly, that's when I started to realize more and more what had happened to me, right? Like, thank God for the Me Too movement. Thank God. I wouldn't have known so many different words to describe what had happened to me. I could only feel them in my body and only think about them in my thoughts, but I wasn't able to express them. And so I also had to find the words. And then I had to do the emotional processing, right? And so I'm there with you, Shield Maiden, and we're here for you. And thank you for being here. And we support you on this journey because I know how hard it is. But you have a community here that deeply supports you. So what do we think? Do we think Russell Brand is going to get arrested? Like, is Russell Brand going to get arrested? I mean, guys, like that would be wild. Like wild. Yeah, Me Too movement was wild to process. I mean, I didn't even know about SH, you know, for example, like that someone on set wasn't really allowed to like hit on me. I didn't even get that. I didn't even know that's what that was fully. Like, I didn't even get that. I mean, Jesus. I'm just curious to see how the police, because all eyes are on them, and I want them to properly investigate this scenario and see what they got there, because accountability is extremely important. And it seemed like Russell Brand used to be all about accountability when he was writing books about himself and making money off of himself, right? So maybe that will be his next book, where he takes some type of accountability again. But yeah, so that's how I'm feeling about the Russell Brand thing. That's how I'm feeling about the innocent until proven guilty. And like, I don't really like Russell Brand fucking with H3. I think that's just, I mean, who's fucking with H3? You know what I mean? Like, who fucks with H3? Like, really, dude? Like, you're really gonna claim that on H3 of all places? Like, get out of here. Get out of here, Russell. Go rumble away over to Rumble. Get out of YouTube. We're happy that you're, like, rumble on over to Rumble and see you never, man. This is how he sleeps. I swear to God, that's how that man sleeps. I'm really not kidding here. This is how he sleeps. Is it possible to be investigated? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, it's possible for America to be next in opening an investigation, right? I mean, it's possible. This is the aliens. If there were crimes committed, yeah. And apparently there were in the documentary. It was in Los Angeles. I'm pretty positive, allegedly. I think that's what I remember from the documentary. So if you ask a man what he's afraid of, he'll say other men. Yeah. And you know what? I just want to also say to any guys that are, you know, watching E-Predators, there is not a woman, you know, who hasn't walked faster to her car, who hasn't put her keys in between her fingers as she walks quickly to her car. There's literally not one. I can guarantee you probably not one. And you'll never know what it feels like to not really be able to walk out at night, late at night by yourself. And you just see one guy coming your way on the same sidewalk in the distance. You just get a little, you know, and as a survivor, when you have trauma, even more so. And so like the guys out there that seem to be like all Russell Brand bro-y, it's like there's literally your own wife, man. Like you don't know, and you just don't, there's not a woman you don't know that hasn't done that or hasn't felt that way. And again, 1 out of 3 women have experienced SA. And then you got it's like endless how many people are harmed from SA. It's like out of control. The statistics are so high and most of them aren't even reported. Most of them aren't even reported, you guys. So, you know, we need some allies. Where's our allies? You know, is anyone in the chat just here as an ally? Like, I'm always curious because I feel like sometimes maybe a lot of us are survivors, which is amazing because this community matters so much to one another. And I'm also wanting allies for us, you know, like people that understand that this is a huge, huge issue that's so devastating. If Scientology is devastating, this is just devastating. It's so bad for survivors. We need some allies. Where are the allies at? You know, are we going to see any in the chat? Like, that's what scares me, right? That's what legit freaks me out a little bit, is where are the allies at? You know, we see allies for like PETA, you know, animals, which is like rad for sure. Like those people are not animals, not animals out there advocating for animals. We got people advocating for pets, for animals. Where are people that aren't survivors advocating, standing up and supporting survivors? We got to see more. I want to see more of that. This year, we're getting to the end of this year, and I want to go into next year having a whole bunch of more allies. Why? Because we need them. We need them. And there's no neutral on a moving train. And this is a fucking moving train, this issue. This train is almost off the rails at this point, okay? So we need you. So anyone who's an ally in here, I'm an ally, bro. Amazing. Ally. Gia, ally. Oh, wait, now I'm starting to see them. This is so exciting. This is so cool to see for survivors. I love this. Ally alert. Aw. Aw. Yeah, honestly, I know. I was an ally and then I realized I was a victim. Yeah, I feel that too. Allies are so important and we love our allies. Just nice to have them. And it's nice to see them because we really see the opposite most of the time. So it's nice to see them. And moving through what we got going on today. We got some other exciting news, actually. Wait, where is it? Do I have it? Where is it? We do. You guys, check this out. Sorry. I love that this is the exciting news. That's how like bad things have gotten, that now this is where we're at. But check it out. So we got 4 British women who are reportedly set to sue Andrew Tate after the influencer allegedly, I can't say this, blanked them until blood vessels burst in their eyes, you guys. Trigger warning. In the coming weeks, they are set to file claims of coercive control, and choking in the high court. 4 women for Andrew Tate. And wasn't that the guy who was just recently standing up for Russell Brand? Am I wrong? Was that you, Andrew? I'm getting you guys all mixed up at this point. I'm just starting to get them all a little bit mixed up. Like, who's Andrew? Who's Russell? Who's Elon? Because it seems like they all, at least have the same allegations. Hashtag me too, but I'm more an ally these days, that I've been with my stable partner for 15 years. Nice, Becca. Thank you so much. I hear Andrew Tate is writing another ridiculous email about war as we speak. Mika wasn't able to pull up. There's a new email that Andrew Tate wrote, and it's like, they got us by the balls or something. I really wanted to read it to you guys today because it's so, he's funnier than Russell Brand. I'm just going to say that. Because he's so fucking ridiculous that his emails are just out of control. I can't even believe that he finds it okay to send out these emails and that he makes money off of sending out those emails. It's just absolutely insane. Yeah, they do support one another. So it's interesting. So we saw Andrew Tate standing up for Russell Brand, right? And now we got Russell Brand investigation opened in the UK, and we got 4 women coming forward against Andrew Tate. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Because it's not like every bro is standing up for Russell Brand right now. And I find that it's interesting that it's Andrew Tate standing up for him. And both of them seem to be in very sticky situations, muddy waters this week. But I'm hoping that these survivors get some justice. I'm happy to see when survivors come forward, and I'm just happy to see survivors happy. I just want to see them happy. Whatever it is. They want to come forward. They don't want to come forward. I just want to see survivors feeling the love and feeling supported. That's like how I'm feeling today. I really just can't say that enough, because just reading how people were responding to Ethan H3 on his Twitter, it just really did bother me. And I just, as a survivor, don't like seeing that. You're like, what? But Russell Brand, like, what? Did you watch the documentary? Like, did you even watch the documentary? Did you even listen to the survivors? You know how much it probably took for those survivors were in the shadows in that documentary. They were anonymous, a lot of them. And when at least listen to them. Like, look at how they are in a shadow, in that doc. And to me, that spoke so many volumes and just made me immediately feel so compassionate for them. Just immediately. It's like, just watch the documentary, guys. Just watch it. Or if it's too triggering for you, obviously, do not watch it. But if you can watch it, please watch it before you tweet something about Russell Brand. I would really like people to at least listen to what the survivors have to say before they make a ridiculous tweet like the one that I was talking about earlier. We don't need it. And I do want to play, wait, who's this woman? Did you guys see this? I want to go into our Reddit page for a second, because I saw some things in there that I wanted to note. First of all, can we just talk about this woman really quickly? Maybe I can play this. Let's listen to her for a second.
Close to Brand, right. Close to the Times.
Had you spoken to those 4 women?
I was confident that there is no smoking gun in this regard.
Right.
I remain confident, having...
I remain confident. What do you remain confident about what?
The dispatches, if that is what they've got after 4 years of a joint investigation.
They got a lot after that 4-year investigation. What is she talking about, you guys? What could she possibly be talking about here? Is she actually dissing the doc?
By the Times newspaper and Channel 4, those 4 flimsy allegations from women who choose.
Flimsy allegations. Wait, so we have someone with an, if I remember correctly, you guys, it was an R kit, right? R kit? Flimsy allegations. It's like they get mad at you when you don't come forward. Where is the police report? Where is this? And then look at how someone shared this on the Reddit. That's why I'm going back to Russell for a quick second, because it's just so absurd. What are you talking about flimsy allegations? What's flimsy, about them coming forward in general? How brave of them to come forward against someone who the power dynamic is so unfair, it's insane. Yet they did come forward. What's flimsy about that? What's flimsy about their courage? Is their courage flimsy too? I'm just curious. What else is flimsy for this woman? Flimsy? Is an R kit flimsy? I don't think so. I don't think that an R kit is flimsy. I don't know if that's the right word I would personally choose for your description of those allegations. You know? And the text messages. Yeah, the text messages were also flimsy. Flimsy text messages. It's like, those are actual text messages, I think. Those are actual text messages from Russell Brand. Like, what's flimsy about that? So you got texts, you got R-Kit, you know? This is all in my opinion. You got all of that, and yet it's still flimsy. I want the world to look at that. It's no-win situation, you guys, for survivors. There's no win. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That's the life of a survivor. It really doesn't matter what you do. You're wrong. You didn't do it right. And it's apparently flimsy. Flimsy survivors. We are flimsy. Fucking what the fuck is she talking about, dude?
Stay anonymous, so there is nobody that can counter their version of events. It's nobody who can say, well, hang on, I was there on that occasion. And this is the thing.
Do you have any sympathy for these women?
He's like, she's gone off the rails here. I don't want to sit next to her anymore. If I was sitting next to her, I would move. I would legit have to move. I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable sitting next to you anymore. I gotta bail on you right now. I'm sorry. Where are you going with this?
For these women?
Every year, there are 1.1 million people who are sexually assaulted in this country.
Okay. First of all, though, can I just say something really quickly? If you know how many people have been SA'd, for example, if you know that, if you're aware of that, then why are you using that against survivors? Isn't it interesting how they do that? And I've noticed a lot of enablers and a lot of predators love to do this. They go, oh, this survivor's ruining it for all the real survivors. What does that even mean? You just ruined it for all the real survivors, because some survivors fucking seeing that tweet and now doubting if they should come forward if they're going to be accused of being not a real survivor that's hurting it for other real survivors. You know what I mean? I mean, that one really pisses me off. I see that one a lot, and a lot of survivors tell me that they also experience the same thing. Or, you know, you get labeled AH, for example, or you're just one of those not real survivors that ruins it for real survivors. It's crazy. I mean, where do you go with this type of mentality? Yeah, Darvo, where do you go? What do you do? You got this woman legit trying to say that because there's so many, this one really doesn't seem that believable. And it's flimsy. Even though it took years to make this documentary, there's evidence to support it, and she's still calling it flimsy. Just really deeply I just, it really is upsetting to see that. Like, that's just so, I can't even listen to her. I don't even want to give that person a minute of my fucking day. You know what I mean? I really just don't. Wait, comes forward. What is this? I just don't even want to give her. I was going to like listen to her for a minute, but you know what, you guys? I think we should just be talking about the fact that there's an investigation open and that Andrew Tate is in a very similar boat, civil high court. And that's where these what do we want to call them? Alleged predators are, right? So while she's sitting there calling the survivors flimsy, let's just remember where Russell Brand's sitting right now. Just saying. Because I need to be reminded of that so that I don't personally lose sight of, you know, just some glimmer of hope in this world. So let's not focus on her for today. Bye-bye, Miss Flimsy. You know what was flimsy? Everything she said, personally, in my opinion. That was flimsy. I didn't really understand a word she was saying personally, and I think her opinion was flimsy as fuck. Flimsy as fuck. What did Annecy say? I hear people complain about there not being other survivors when someone comes forward. And that's another thing. I learned that from coming forward, especially with media. You guys, you know what the media's famous words are? Like every single time. This is what they do. Are there more women? Are there more? You're like, I'm sorry, did you just hear everything I just said? I just literally told you about one of the worst traumatic experiences of my life. And your response is, are there more? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out also here. And also that's what I'm trying to prevent from happening again. Shouldn't one person's voice, by the way, be enough to go, whoa, this person most likely needs to warn the public about this other individual. Not, are there more? And that's how strong the patriarchy is that they need a whole bunch of individuals to come forward before they take one seriously. And why? So if one person comes forward, their story's not true. I find, so if I only got robbed once, for example, are you going to say I wasn't robbed? Whoever says that, I want to know what police officer or what media outlet tells somebody who's been robbed if they've been robbed before, or you know what I mean? Are there more? Do you know the other people that your robber has robbed? I'm sorry. Can you imagine, like, your house gets robbed, right? You call the police and you're telling them the whole thing. All of your stuff is missing. And the police officer's like, do you know of any other people that have also been robbed? It's like, can you just look at the fact that my fucking house has been robbed and do something about it first before we go into thinking about how many other people have been robbed? That's your job, by the way. That's your fucking job, by the way. You go find, sure, if more people have been robbed. But how fucking weird. We only hear this with SA. I only hear it with SA. And yeah, my mom said something true here. Or murdered. Did you ever see, has he killed, unalived someone before? Does that really matter? That would be a serial K word, right? Oh, that's so interesting. It's like with SA, they have to be a serial essayer for them to take the person seriously. It's like, that shouldn't be the case. There could be someone who has just SA'd one individual. I highly doubt it, by the way. Highly doubt it. But there's a chance of that. If there's a chance if someone's murdered someone once or robbed someone once, why not R? It's a crime too, right? What the fuck is going on, man? Like, it's so ridiculous. I've never seen anybody say, well, he hasn't murdered anyone before, so, like, I don't really know. It's like, no. No. I haven't heard it. Where is it at? And literally, they only believe the one individual who got SA'd if she was also murdered or if they were also murdered. Then it's for sure this happened. They're not asking about the many others. They've just confirmed the one, right? And that's so fucking sad. That's so sad. I want people to really think about that because that's how much stigma is around SA, right? Like so much stigma around it. Never within any other crime, by the way, do they ask if you know of the other people that person might have done it to. It's like, no, I don't know where he or she's been or they've been. How am I supposed to know where they've been? Your job is maybe to go find that, sure. But I'm talking about the crime that happened to me. And I want you to take that seriously because then there's a high potential that this person is going to do it again. And we want to prevent that, right? We want to prevent that. And even with the alleged thing, you know, like alleged. And I understand. But there's also claimed, reported. She said. I love she or he said or they said. I like that. It feels better for some reason than alleged. Like it just sounds better. And I think the media really needs to knock it off with the alleged because I don't even think it's necessary. And they don't even really do that with robberies. You don't go alleged robber. Show me alleged robber. Maybe there's one, but like you don't see it. It's usually like reported robber, right? You see reported. Because anything can be reported. It can be reported in the media. It doesn't mean to be an actual like police report, for example. It just means it has been reported somewhere. But alleged seems to be really only used when it comes to people accused of SA. And then the survivor's words are alleged. How about he said, she said, or they said? That's a little bit better, in my opinion. I think it's also legally sound, right? He said it, she said it, they said it. I don't think the media can get sued for that. I don't think that's a liability issue, in my opinion. I really don't. I don't think so. What are you guys saying in the chat? I was allegedly ABUSED, right? It sounds ridiculous. Alleged has become a joke on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. And it's a safety thing too, because these lawyers also, for example, are ruthless, right? And you know, it's funny that Russell Brand is all about freedom of speech and thinking people are coming for them, where I feel like if anyone could say that and maybe more believed in that scenario and might actually be more legitimate to feel that way would be the survivors. I mean, survivors literally get trolled. If they come forward against a huge public figure, I mean, it's rough. Like, with Michael Milosh, nobody even really knows him. And so I didn't get that fandom with coming forward. But if I mentioned anybody else, like even when I came and talked about my story about Jonah Hill, I saw a little bit of that victim blaming thing that was coming into my comment section. I saw it a lot. And that's what survivors deal with regularly. Russell Brand, one day in, he's like, they're coming for me. You're like, dude, you know what it's like being a survivor, bro? Do you know what it's like being a survivor? You don't know, man. If you're this freaked out right now, imagine how your survivors feel. You know, allegedly, etc. So rough. The system literally calls the ABUSERs and shames the victims. Yeah, it's like time and time again. But yet, if your house has been robbed, no one's doubting that your house has been robbed. It's not like someone immediately thinks that you're trying to do like an insurance scam, for example, right? Doubt it. I really, really, really doubt it. I really doubt it. Even if it's just a small music scene, when I came out about my ABUSER, they weaponized all of their followers against me. Yeah, I can only imagine what it likes to come out against a large public. That's exactly what happens. The fandom becomes like an army, and people don't understand that. Like, it is, Adam said this, it is David and Goliath. It really is a tale of David and Goliath. Like, when you look at David, you're like, holy shit, you're really going to go stand up to that? And David's like, dun, 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 and whatever. That is what it's like when a survivor comes forward about somebody who even has a small fan base. Literally, even just a small fan base. Small fan base. They get that. They get that. And I know that's, you know, with Nick Carter, for example, you know, like, don't get me started. Don't get me started. You know, like, I back Backstreet Boys and, you know, hashtag this, hashtag that. Multiple people came forward. Multiple. And apparently he's allegedly trying to say it's some type of conspiracy. Okay. Do what you want, man. That's conspiracy. Multiple people. It kind of sounds like Russell Brand. Kind of sounds a little bit like Russell Brand, in my opinion. And I'm allowed to my opinion. So it just sounds like it. It's like, why are these guys? Is this the new thing? You know, Andrew Tate liked to say in his BBC that these women didn't even exist. He goes, show me Sophie. I think that was her alias name, or, you know, her name that she wanted to use coming forward. He's like, show me her. BBC like made her up. And it's like, so now these women don't exist. They're if there's more than one, now when there's more than one, it's a conspiracy, you guys. Sorry, I just realized that. It's like if it's one person, is there more? And then she doesn't even exist. And then if there's multiple survivors, there's a conspiracy at hand. Is this real life? Yeah, the harassment is everywhere. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I mean, let's be real. Like, this is just getting out of control. What are survivors supposed to fucking do to get a little bit of support around here? One, it's not enough. One, she's a liar. He, they, whatever. Whoever it is, survivor, whatever survivor comes forward, if it's one, it's not enough, or they don't exist. Or they don't exist. If there's more than one, there's a conspiracy. And they're all coming together for some type of agenda to take me down. Like, really? What do they want from you? Why are you that narcissistic that you think these individuals are going to take on harassment for you? What's so special about you? What's so fucking special about you? I want to know. I want them to talk more about what's so special about them that these survivors are taking on full-on harassment, right? And being publicly shamed and not believed for you, buddy. What? Yeah, right, man. I have a hard time believing that as a survivor. I have a hard time believing that anyone's going to do all of that and take on all of that just for you. Saying. Oh, and then they want the money. That's like the old world still coming into the new world, right? That's what they were saying. They've been saying that forever, right? And before that, she was a witch. Money, wants attention. I got that too. I saw some like tweets about me. Like, oh, she's doing, you know, this advocacy work for like attention and she's not even a real survivor. Fuck you, man. Like, you're part of the problem. How do you not see you're part of the problem? You think that's going to encourage somebody to come forward and make the police report that you guys love to say, why isn't there one? You think that type of language and behavior is going to encourage people to come forward? And then you're like, where's the police report? You know what happens to the police report? You ate it. You ate that police report with your fucking words, man. That's where the police report is. It's in your tummy. It's in your tummy. It's in your stomach. And you're to blame, possibly, for why there is no police report or that person didn't come forward. And not to mention, you know, some of these survivors are not here anymore, okay? Ended their own lives because of trauma. Where are they? They don't exist. Why isn't there more than one? Does she even exist? Like, this is out of control, you guys. Knock it off. Just knock it off. And Nick Carter, I am sorry. I have a huge problem with just the response of the scenario. Like, the fact that it went to this, like, I think it's a defamation suit. I'm just trying to say what I know. But I think it's a conspiracy situation, and that fucking rubs me the wrong way immediately. And then hearing Russell Brand, is this Nick Carter at home too? all of them sleep like this. That's gonna be my new. Yeah, and Dane Cook is fucking weird too. Yeah, but yeah, rest in my friend Libby. Rest in peace, Libby. Daisy Coleman. Watch her documentary. Okay, let's take note. Daisy Coleman. Let's watch the documentary. Yeah, see? Look how many people have ended their own life. So are your words encouraging someone? Or are they shutting someone up? I just hate it. It's really fucking despicable. I'm so over it. Why do these individuals get all the support? Why? And what does that do? What does it do? What is it doing? What is it doing? Unbelievable. Yeah, I have actually. Really, really good. Really, really good. Yeah, and Shia LaBeouf. I heard that trial is coming up too with FKA Twigs. Cheryl, rest in peace, Cheryl. You know, like what? Do I have to make a whole wall in the middle of Los Angeles and see how many RIPs, survivors, for people to take it seriously? It's like they actually want to be there. It's so sick. It's like, if I wasn't there, do you want to be there? Did you want to be there? Like, gross. The last thing I've said to someone whose house been robbed is I wanted to be, like, I wasn't there. I didn't want to be there. I don't want to be anywhere where the house is getting robbed. I'll take your word for it, man. Jesus. Take your word for it. Take your word for it. Get this, it made me disabled, and now I can't seek refuge after 6 years of stalking and not being with him. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Disabled women, 100%. Oh yeah, depression just goes, the layers to it are out of control. That's why I want people to care about this. This is why I'm sitting here right now. You know? It's like, let's care about this. This is a problem. This is serious. This is serious. It ruins people's lives. And I'm tired of these fuckers saying their life is being ruined. I'm over it. Go home. Go home. Survivors' lives are getting ruined. They're being re-traumatized. They're not being believed. They're dealing with public scrutiny. They're dealing with endless harassment. I mean, the list goes on. And then most of them don't get any justice, by the way. Just add that on top of the whole thing. Daniel, thank you. It's honestly crazy. Multiple people come out against him. Yeah, and his immediate response is so aggressive. Just really, how can people even defend it? I mean, it's so true. And he doesn't even want to talk about it. He's like, let's talk about the vaccines. You know what? Fuck the vaccines right now, man. Can we talk about the women that just came forward about you, bro? I don't want to talk about the fucking vaccines right now. Did you watch the documentary, Russell? We don't want to talk about. That's so 2 years ago, bro. We're on to the next. What happened here? Do you have anything to say about that actually matters? I don't want to hear about these vaccines. I don't want to hear about these conspiracy theories anymore. I'm done. I'm personally over it. I'm over it. And this is my opinion. It's just, I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. And Daniel, it's so true. And it's like, why so aggressive? Nick Carter. Wait, I don't know anything about Nick Carter. Google Nick Carter. Read The Vulture. There's a it might be behind a paywall, but I'm sure the Nick Carter fans are going to come after me. Like, you can't even say anything you can't even say your own personal opinion if you don't like somebody. You know, it's like very weird. And then Russell Brand likes to say that his freedom of speech is being taken away. I don't know, man. Is it your freedom of speech being taken away? You're still on YouTube and Rumble. You're still rumbling on, man. You know? But survivors, even survivors sticking up for other survivors and being like, you know, I support this survivor. I don't like, maybe, you know, this ABUSCR. You get all their stands coming after you and trying to smear your name. So then they intimidate other people coming in there. That's another thing that I really don't like. And we need to discuss this. If you're a fan of somebody and you really, really, really look up to this person, and this person ends up getting accused of something really, really horrendous, like a crime, the last thing that you should do is go after the survivor of the scenario or go after people defending the survivor, because what you're doing is encouraging no allies for survivors. And I have a fucking problem with that, okay? Just don't say anything. I just really want them to take a step back. Like, if you're a fan and you want to wait and see in the whole thing, sure, that's, you do you, right? You do you. But don't you dare say something that's going to make the survivor feel unsafe, number one. And please don't discourage allies, because survivors barely have any allies, okay? We barely have any allies. And these ABUSCRs like to make it look that way because they lose a sponsor or two, right? They lose a sponsor and it's like, my whole life is ruined and blah, blah, blah. Go talk to a survivor would be my encouragement. Go talk to a survivor and ask how they've been doing since they came forward and what their life has been like leading up to them coming forward and what it's like in general. And then see how you feel. But I saw that with Nick Carter. Like, I saw some people like hashtagging underneath my thing, and it's like, I'm a survivor. Please leave me alone. Also, like, please just leave survivors alone. Like, they don't need that. They really don't. They don't need it. What does everyone say? Am I making sense, you guys? Sorry, I know I've been going off on a tangent. That's how I felt today. That's how I felt today. I hope that's how I felt. What did Annecy say? There's a petition by BSB fans disparaging Nick's survivors. Can you elevate and help get people here to report it? Yes, Annecy. Can you please maybe put it here in the comments section? And also, can you please put the link on our Reddit thread so that others can see it and do what they need to do? Please do that. That's another thing. There's petitions. You guys, there's petitions. There's a petition. Is that what I'm seeing here? Yeah, there's literally a petition against the survivors of Nick Carter. Reported survivors. What's going to make these people feel more comfortable? You know, these survivors. And look at this. They're making petitions against them. I mean, this is just... Thanks, Jaden. I really appreciate that. Annecy put the link, you guys, here. Daniel, thank you so much for becoming a member. Seriously, thank you so much. We got allies, got survivors in here. I really love this community so much. Seriously, like, it feels very good to be here. Seriously, it feels just really good to be here. I really hope that everyone feels good in here, because that's really the whole point. That's really, really the whole point. Daniel, welcome. Everyone's saying welcome, Daniel. Yeah, it's just disgusting. It's really gross. And then, you know, the AH thing, you know, now because of that whole lawsuit that happened, that the names that we shall not be named here, you know, then you got people being labeled. Like, I've never, like, even Weinstein didn't get the same type of, like, treatment than these survivors. You know, it's just so crazy. It's just so wild. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. So true. Yeah. Been looking forward to this all day. Aw. So yeah, with community. Just nice to be here with people that care and that want to be nice to one another. And support something that it's a serious issue. And we just really, really need to be mindful of this wherever we are. And some people haven't come forward. Hi, Tangerine. Tangerine, great name. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate this community. But let's be mindful. You know, we don't know what other survivor is around. Oh my God, another member. Is it Jaden? I hope I'm saying it right. Jaden? Jadine? I hope I'm saying it right. Please put the pronunciation if I'm not. Thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. We don't know where survivors are, right? And some might not want to come forward. And that a friend of yours might be a survivor and they never told you. So be mindful of how you're speaking, you know? Just be mindful of it. That's really the gist of this video today, is how we're showing up on these social media platforms. And if we're starting to sound like bot bro trolls, or if we're sounding like real human beings that have hearts, and care about people's lives. That's stay awake. Stay free, you guys. I feel like I had to do it. Oh, SM, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you so much. The logo is iconic. Thank you so much. Actually, a good friend of mine created that logo. Well, Miko actually drew this one out, but the original one, like the actual concept of it, is a good friend of mine. So I love the logo so much. I think that's what you were talking about. If not, my bad. But I love the logo too. I am fearless thanks to you all. Oh, Mariah, we're so happy to be here with you. Honestly, all of you. Jaden, Mariah, look at all these people. This makes me so happy just seeing everyone. Is that too cheesy? Maybe I'm too cheesy. But it's just really, really, really nice. And yeah, let's just support one another. And please look into that Nick Carter petition. Let's get that out of here. That's just gross. If you know a survivor, reach out to them today. Ask them if they want some support, some kind words. If you are a survivor, maybe take a bath, do something that feels really good today. You deserve it. Thank you guys so much for coming on to another live. I could not tell you how much I appreciate you all. This community is just so wonderful. We're at over 20K, and how great is this to have this community? I'm just really, really grateful today that I was able to share everything with you and feel that support. And everyone else was allowed to do the same and feel the same type of support. So thank you all so much. And obviously, fuck Russell Brand and I stan H3. That's how I'm going to drop the mic for the end of this episode. I stan H3. Fuck the loser Russell Brand. And I adore you all. And I'll see. Oh, Thursday. So I'll be live on Thursday. Please come and join virtually if you can't physically be there. Please be there on the live because I want to show Scientology how many people care about this. So please, if you can, do not miss the live stream. Share it to someone who also wants to stand with the survivors of Scientology. Remember, Scientology allegedly is covering up SA. Okay?
Tell them about Patreon.
And Patreon. Our Patreon, that's what's going to fund all these protests. So if you want to help in that way and you don't want to be a member, for example, Patreon is there. It helps the protests. So please share it and wish me luck. And I'll see you all there. Oh, Katie, thank you so much for becoming. Oh, and also every Sunday will be a members only video sesh. So starting next Sunday. So next Sunday will be members only. We can talk about whatever, cruise around the internet, just bond with one another, basically. And we are raising the tier for our YouTube members. So it'll go from like $2.99, I think, to $4.99 next week. So I think by Friday, actually. I think it's Friday, right, Adam? I think it's Friday. So that's getting raised.
Sunday will be the last one at $2.99, and then on Monday we'll start.
Okay. Sunday will be the last one at $2.99, and then $4.99. But I'm so excited for Sundays, so it's gonna be fun just to be with the members too, and have fun.
If you get in now, it stays at $2.99.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. And if you become a member now, that will stay at $2.99. It's not going to raise to $4.99. So you'll just get it at $2.99. And thank you so much for supporting Eat Predators channel. You all mean so much to me. Again, welcome, Katie. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I adore you guys so much. See you Thursday. I can't wait to show you all the protest signs. Thank you for joining that stream. Oh, Yasmin. Thank you so much, Yasmin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye, you guys. Family, family, family.